feeling wonderful about being in this world right here and right now, despite everything that's going on. We have that place in our heart where we know, each one of us, if we look, that we are whole, we are perfect, and we are complete right where we are. So I invite you to drop into that place where you know. And if you feel like you don't know, just pretend that you know. For it is the truth of each and every one of us that we have that presence and power of Spirit within us. So let's, in this moment, this time of meditation, open to that place of love that we all carry within. And embracing that place of love and surrender in the heart, either opening softly our eyes or listening with eyes softly open or closed to this beautiful music that we love and surrender each and every moment of this precious day that life has given us, to know and believe that we are worthy to give and receive love. And we surrender to this impulse, this idea that it begins within each one of us to love, to be, to surrender, and to give. And so it is. I allow, I surrender.
surrender. I allow, I surrender. I allow. Up from my feet, I call the healing power. Up from my feet, I draw into my heart. It's already here. I only need to claim it. Up from my feet, I know that I am healed. Draw into my heart. It's already here. I only need to claim it. In through my hands, I know that I am healed. Oh, I am healed. Call the healing power down from my head. I draw into my heart. It's already here. I only need to claim it. Down from my head, I know that I am healed. I am. Oh, I am healed. With my spirit and soul, I call the healing power. With my spirit and soul, I draw into my heart. It's already here. I only need to claim it. With my spirit and soul, I know that I am healed. Oh, I am healed. Yes. Up from the earth, I call the healing power. Up from the earth, I draw into my heart. It's already here. I only need to claim it. Up from the earth, I know that I am healed. I am healed, yeah. I'm gonna send it, gonna send it, gonna send it back. Oh, back to the earth. I send the healing power. Back to the earth. I draw into my heart. It's already here. I only need to claim it. Back to the earth. I know that I am healed. Oh, I know it. I know that I am healed. Yes. Oh, I know that I am healed. I know that I am healed. I know it. I feel it. Up through my feet and in through my hands. Oh, I feel it. Oh, in my heart, I know it. I claim it. I am healed. I am healed. I know that I am healed. Thanks so much.
Thank you, thank you. How wonderful. I know that I am healed. How is our journey when we hold that space of knowing there's a larger idea and a larger understanding, and yet we don't have the instructions to it? Anybody wonder, when are they just going to give me the instructions? When am I just going to know if I do this and this and this? I think what we're learning, and we're in our 4th week of an 8-week series on living untethered, and it's, the tagline, Beyond the Human Predicament. And the human predicament is fascinating. And as we get to look at it, I believe that life is offering us all these different pieces, and we get to pull from the very essence of the universe through ourselves answers and a deeper understanding and a way of finding a journey that allows us to live with a larger story than we have. We're pretty clear, I believe most of us, that the smaller stories aren't working. Anybody have any questions about that? Whether we're talking about what's happening in Israel with the Hamas and the pieces that have gone on for centuries, or whether we're talking about what's happening in this country and in every country around the world, the little stories do not work anymore. So how do we find a larger story? Now, Michael Singer is really talking about the idea that we do it by untangling our own mind. And if you haven't started working with this book, they are available in the bookstore. You can get them on other sites, obviously, too. It's fascinating material. But eventually, we get to move from a world where we've worked to push the world into our spaces and find a larger understanding. And we get to do it in fascinating ways. Some of you know, am I on? Okay, all right. Some of you know I left after church last Sunday and went to Disneyland. Spent the week, got home last night. I think I got into the house about 10 o'clock last night. And it was a fascinating experience. I had written I went with 17 pages of notes. They're now covered in iced tea and wrinkled and a few other things, but they made it home. I worked with them all week. I never did the beginning of my message, and I've been working with how do I introduce these ideas? How do I work with what we're working on right now, which is higher mind? We've been working with the lower mind. We've been working with personal mind. We did that last week. We looked at the idea, I know I'm in here, and I know more and more of us are getting, I'm divine. And then we create this personal mind. And if you haven't noticed, it came from all the stuff of your childhood, all the stuff. And I thought, how do I get to higher mind? Usually, if I will hold myself in a space, it will come to me and I have all the answers. Didn't happen this morning. I did my meditation. I did what I'm supposed to. And then Mark gets up to make his announcement, and he said the word noosphere. And I was like, that's it. That's what I need to talk about. Now, I can either have a heck of a time. Last night, I'm like, go to sleep. I can't go to sleep. I don't have the beginning of my message. I don't know how it's going together. I always know how it's going together. I can fight all night long, and I have. Or I can just say, oh, well, and observe what's going on. Those are the ways we work with our minds. Anybody have anything that they're fighting with right now in your mind? We can have a battle in our minds, or we can trust this process that somewhere along the way, we're going to be a part of. And by the way, the noosphere is an idea created by Pierre Teilhard de Chardin. Pierre Teilhard de Chardin was a Jesuit priest. He was a brilliant scientist who many of the people who do the work they do today are based on Pierre Teilhard de Chardin's work. And I'm hoping, Mark, that I have the original study guides from his work, and I would love to do it here. It's not easy to understand, but it is fascinating. And he had to make up his own words. And noosphere, what it means, and I grew up with these words. They were in our house. They were unavoidable. They were just everywhere, and they're fascinating. But the noosphere is this consciousness that's created around humanity that is from all of the thoughts and all of the places where every being is. Charles Fillmore called it race consciousness, but literally it is this field. Now, I talk a lot about the quantum field. And that is a field of intelligence that is pure spirit that we can all draw from and be a part of. But we are still a part of the noosphere. Can you feel it? It's like the noosphere is saying we are going to evolve. We are going to move. And by the way that Pierre Teilhard de Chardin taught that we evolve is that consciousness gathers. And the word he called a peduncle is actually the word. He had to make up his own words. Noosphere is one of them. Peduncle is one of them. Most of them have not been used, and there's other ways. But he said consciousness gathers in energy, and you do it individually, you do it collectively, and we do it globally. And it gathers, and it gathers. And it either moves in to an evolutionary idea where humanity goes to another level, or it goes back down into itself, and it's still there, and it keeps gathering until it goes to another place, and it goes. And eventually, those ideas will burst open. And you see little pockets of it begin to burst open, and then they often go back down. We've seen it with the ideas of civil rights. They've come open, and then they've gone down. They've come open and they've gone down. And yet, as humanity gathers with these thoughts and these ideas, eventually we move to a larger picture. So then we get to ask ourselves, what's my job here? Our job is to do what Michael Singer's talking about, to be able to get out of our personal mind, the mind that we've created that says, oh, I don't like this, I don't want this to happen, I do want this to happen. For life to be good in the Northwest, we need it to be sunny. If so, if we have any of those thoughts hanging around in there, we've just basically agreed we're going to live in misery for most of the life. And if that's what we want, being in California, it was fascinating. I was like, oh, thank you, God, it's sunshine, it's wonderful. Then it got to be 88, and we're out with 3 million other people walking around Disneyland. And then it got to be 90, and all of a sudden everyone's like, this is awful. What are we doing? And I think the number one seller were these fans with water coming out of them, and everyone was walking around like this. And I thought, so if you have to have under this amount of temperature, between this and this, do you know how much of our lives we've just said we're not going to be happy with? I mean, that one thing. And so all week I kept watching. I thought, oh my gosh, I'm trying to make my mind fit into this, and I'm trying to make my mind fit into this. I'm not a real big roller coaster person. That's why my sister goes with us all the time. She's back there because she does really well with those. But I go on some of them Leah and I go on some of them, and so Thunder Mountain is about my speed. The only thing is, I don't want Thunder Mountain to be a roller coaster. And so I get on there. I tell myself I'm going to observe. I'm going to be, I'm going to accept and open. And they put that bar down. I'm like, no. And I end up saying no most of the time. I go through this whole thing, and I'm like, oh, good, we're done. And then Leah says, the next ride is Thunder Mountain. I'm like, we just did that. And she goes, no, I want to do it again. And so there we are again. And I think, what am I doing? And I realized that now, anybody have their life look like that, though? It was a little too close to my personal life to realize, okay, I'm riding Thunder Mountain Railroad all over the place. And I thought, what is happening? And I realized this is what he's talking about. In our personal mind, where we've created these boxes of it can't look like this, and so I have to resist anything that looks like this, and I have to say yes to and it has to look like this, we've created our own hell. We've created a really tough time. What would happen if we took the breath? Because there is higher mind. And the work we're working with right now is about the higher mind. There's a higher place. And there's a way of moving out of that. All of our lives have come to help us heal the individual, what he calls samskara, these patterns that we have. And they've come to help us heal the patterns in the noosphere, the patterns in humanity. We can't say it's them over there. If we're battling this stuff in our lives and in our hearts, and we're hating right here, and we're hating right there, and we might be hating here. The truth is, there is a bigger picture, and we're a part of it. And the way that we can unleash our minds is to begin stopping the no. And do you know how hard that is when they strap you in and you're going like this? And I'm like, okay, I was so grateful that Space Mountain was closed down the whole time we were there. And I thought, if that's what it takes to make a good day, we're in a lot of trouble here. It's like, but these are the things that when we have to have it that way, how do we unstrap ourselves or allow ourselves to sit in the roller coaster and just observe? It comes with training. It's mindfulness. It's moving into meditation and realizing I can get to a place that has nothing to do with this noosphere and all the stuff that's going on. They're all there. Let me tell you how many people are grumpy after 5 days at Disneyland. You get home and everything's dirty and everything's, and it's just like and we either allow ourselves to begin rolling through it, to surf those waves and those feelings and those ideas and observe, or we say, nope, in my world, and I do it all the time, in my world it has to look like this. I don't want to walk in the rain. I don't want to do this. I thought, what am I doing? Wait a minute, breathe. And to start out with, to make any change individually, we have to become conscious of it. We have to become mindful and figure out, I've just strapped in on another roller coaster. It doesn't feel good. Or if you love roller coasters, trust me, you'll find something else that you're strapped into. And it's right there. Can we figure out that we're strapped in? That we've gone into what he calls the personal mind. We've just stuck ourselves right there. And we're saying it has to look like this, and it can't look like that. And then we just resist anything that's anywhere close to that. I can guarantee you that the universe, in its evolutionary process and movement, is going to say, let me help you, dear. And once you get off that roller coaster, they're going to have another one. And they're going to have another one. Because your soul said yes to being incarnated in this body, which is perfect for healing every old idea that's there. And then it's going to say, let's breathe. Let's be where we are. What I know about every one of us in this room is that we are creations of love. We came to love. Every wisdom teacher on the planet has said that idea, has shared that idea. That's who we are. We came to love. And we have everything we need inside of us. Jesus taught this so clearly. The kingdom of heaven is within you. Buddha taught it very clearly. What I think is fascinating is many of these ideas come from Buddhism. And I think they are right here. And I think the idea that we can choose our thoughts is right here. And Jesus came with many of those, and he shared how to do that. And I think at some point, humanity is going to have this larger story, and they're going to be like, oh my goodness, these are all parts of this larger story that says we are one, and we have the ability to touch each other and to say, oh, you are divine. Oh, you are divine. Oh, I am divine. So it starts with a breath. This week, I'd invite you to really look at your journey and say, where am I strapped in? Just where have I strapped in again? It's not even the first time. One of the days, finally, it was 10 o'clock at night. I was like, I am not going on that thing again. But all that did was put it off because we went on the first thing the next morning. But it was, I was like, I can't do that to myself again. But what I want to be able to do is when we get up in the morning, just to say, thank you, God. I'm strapped in over here, but what would happen if I just spent today grateful? I have 24 hours to breathe. I'm alive. I wonder what I could appreciate. Myself, the quirkiness, the way we are. My part in humanity, whichever part I've chosen to play. And it's a myriad of ways. Wow, in fact, look at it. I'm right here helping the noosphere move in this way. You're right here helping the noosphere with all the pieces you have in your life, right here, helping it expand. We're over here. It's like we're all there doing those pieces. So how do we first of all acknowledge? Higher mind says there's a larger story, whether I understand it or not. Einstein used it all the time. He spent so much time in the higher mind that they kicked him out of school in 3rd grade. They said, you don't have enough intelligence. He just didn't want to spend his time on these little stories. And said he would just sit there and open his mind to something larger. It's really hard when we're in the middle of all the stuff that's going on. One of the things I did yesterday, since we had so much time, as I read half of the Cassidy Hutchinson's book, Enough. And it's fascinating to just look at all the stuff and the story and all the pieces. And I thought, we've been living in these stories, and they have validity. And there comes a place where we have to stand for it and stand in the willingness to say we are more than these stories. We are humanity, and we have all that we need right now to take the next step. Individually, your step is to learn to accept where you are. I think you have to laugh a little bit at the ridiculous patterns that we've said, I want life to be this and this and this, and the patterns that somebody said it needs to have one spouse, 2 kids, 2 cars, and they should be like this with a house that looks like that. It doesn't answer a thing. Find somebody who has it. All it does is say, good, now you can work on this. Just try it. Oh, wait, that's bigger than this. I don't want that. I want this. Every one of us is working. There's people all over the world that we get to say, you are important. You are important. And we get to look in the mirror and say, I am important. Because all of us are part of this large sphere, this noosphere of intelligence. And within our hearts, there is a message saying, now, take the next step. And it's always love. Thank you. Okay. Oh, we are going to receive our tithes and our love offerings. You put me out for a week and I forget what we're doing. We're going to have the opportunity to be a part of the generous giving. I often say we're in a place of creating a larger story for our finances. I continue to hold that and to recognize that the more I can open my mind to a belief there's enough, the more I can add to the universal consciousness there is enough for all of humanity to live with food, water, shelter, clothing, and respect. There is enough. And we can hold that right now as we offer these gifts and they move into this community, into this space. And please know that our tithes also continue to send the young women at Unity Church Nigeria to school. That's part of what we do as a community. But as we hold this, we can be a part of enlarging that noosphere. So we're going to, there's in the seat in front of you, there is a list of places if you would like to take that home with you or use it there. It can show you how to do it on our website, on your phone, wherever you'd like. We have ushers who will be receiving offerings in this time of generous giving. And we're going to say our blessing, which our blessing is divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And we hold that for ourselves and for all of humanity, that divine love is present, it's available, it's moving, and we are a part of saying yes to that energy. And so it is.
When everything just falls in line. We live and learn from our mistakes. The deepest cuts are healed by faith. Now I believe there comes a time when everything just falls in line. We live and learn from our mistakes. The deepest cuts are healed by faith. Now I believe there comes a time when everything just falls in line. We live and learn from our mistakes. The deepest cuts are healed by faith. Now I believe there comes a time when everything just falls in line. We live and learn from our mistakes. The deepest cuts are healed. All fired up. All fired up. I'm all fired up. All fired up, fired up, fired up. I'm all fired up. Thanks.
Oh, how wonderful. The opportunity to hold that space. All right, and just in a little bit, we're going to sing our youth in. They're coming up the stairs right now. I invite you all to join us downstairs for Connection Hour. Again, to say hello to some of the people that walk this journey with you. We have name tags on. My invitation is for each of us to learn 2 names before we leave of somebody we didn't know before. People you came with doesn't work. So it has to be somebody that you actually didn't know their name. And if they don't have a name tag on, just ask them what their name is. Part of beginning to be a part and alive and alert and awake in humanity is the ability to recognize we are all walking the same journey. Anybody notice that? It looks so different in so many ways, but it's always the journey to know that we are love and that we're here to love. And part of that is seeing every one of these beings that comes in this room. They are whole, they are perfect, they are infinite, and we can surround this with an energy field of love into which they walk.
You are the star of the morning. You are heaven smiling at us. You're God's gift of tomorrow. Oh, how we love you. Oh, how we love you. You are the star of the morning. You are heaven smiling at us. You're God's gift of tomorrow.
Michael.
There it is.
Okay. Pretty soon we're going to have more people downstairs than up here.
Yeah.
And then some of you have to come downstairs and support us.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Today we made Halloween necklaces. And we got ready for Halloween.
That's what we
And our Uniteens came back from camp. So, no, wasn't that last week? Was that the week? No. They haven't gone. So YOUers are still back. I'm sorry. You're right.
We didn't pick who was going to talk about this, so it's me. Next week is the haunted house and Halloween party. Are you going to talk about that, Barbara? Okay. I don't know everything, but we're just planning a Halloween party and games and things for kids. And the YOUers and the Uniteens are having a lock-in that night to decorate and make a haunted house with some surprises. And just want to invite you all to come and have a great time. Do come in costume. And you can tell us what scare level you would like to be at.
And then also the Youth Ministry Department is sponsoring the Connection Hour. And so we're asked as a fundraiser, and we're asking you to bring some Halloween goodies to help supplement all the good food for all of you.
and come and have a good time. Halloween's always a great fun around here.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. The class tomorrow on prayer, practices, and principle is about holding our minds in a space that's large enough for us to allow some of the beauty of the universe to come through. That'll be tomorrow evening. It'll be out there. I'm looking forward to Olive Garden at 11:30 on Friday morning in Clackamas, if you're a part of that. And then we'll be back for Halloween. What an opportunity. We're going to stand as a community and hold this space of peace for all of this world, all of this planet. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Oh, yes, let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let's join together in our unity prayer. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. All right, we're going to sing our youth out with Thank You, God. And we'll look forward to seeing you.
I'm gonna move to the light. I'm gonna speak of the light. I'm gonna sing with the light. I'm gonna dance in the light. When I choose to remember the Spirit's all I'm rejoicing in praise and shine in the light. I'm gonna move to the light. I'm gonna speak of the light. I'm gonna sing with the light. I'm gonna dance in the light. When I choose